And lastly, guys, recovery. This is a huge part of the pyramid that we're going to talk about over these last 5 videos. Being under recovered will only reap negative rewards. Remember that. You can only train as hard as you recover. If you are hammering the nail the whole time without taking a rest, or without understanding your nutrition plans, or dealing with the other steps that I've literally illustrated to you on the last couple of days, you're not going to have the ability for you to adapt and get to the intensity you need to super compensate. Super compensate means that I'm going to go from, example would be if I deadlifted 100 last week, I need you deadlifting 110 or 120 for you to actually to get to that stress response, and then have the ability to drop, because you're going to need to recover and then get back out and then elevate to the next one. If you are under recovering, undernourished, you're too stressed, you're not actually in a position for you to adapt, what will happen is you'll start to deteriorate and get lower and lower down the scale. So you'll not being able to pull 100, you'll be at 90 and not understand why. That means that all the above effects are happening. What recovery requires from training is 3 elements. You've got nutrition, you've got physical, and you've got emotional. Nutrition recovery means that you're meeting adequate calories for your demand. You're meeting adequate protein for you to actually be in a high nitrogen state. So that means that I'm actually keeping my protein balanced throughout the day at 2 grams per kilo around that neck of the woods. We'll have a discussion depending on who you are. You're actually meeting your health targets. You're having your fruit and veg per meal. You're increasing the amount of micronutrition that you're having, and you're having that carbohydrates at the right time if you're on a carbohydrate protocol for your training. You're staying hydrated. These will all help. Basically, the thickness of your blood, for example, the osmolarity of it is dictated by your hydration. If it's pushing through like gloopy sugar through, as in you're dehydrated, that's where your performance is lost. So we need to make sure that we're hydrated. Nutrition is king to come to recovery. If you're fueling inadequately, you're eating into other things such as metabolism and hormone production. So if you're not having your basal metabolic rate, and we're going to talk about this when you train with your food, if you're not having your BMR minimum per day, you are not running on all gas. You're driving a car with a handbrake on. So that's number 1 thing for you to think about when we're talking about our recovery model. Secondly, physiological. Are you actually physically recovering from your session? When you do weights, or when you do heavy sessions that have a lot of reps, you get micro tears in your muscle fibers. Those micro tears are actual muscle damage. They're not negative. You need that for hypertrophy and for cellular regrowth. That's what makes you bigger. You break down the muscle tissue, you break it, and then you move on. If you're not doing that, and if you are literally just hammering beating the nail, not recovering and using recovery methods to help you actually recover those muscle fibers quickly, and you use them again, you're then doing inadequate adaptative response to that training. So if you go to do bench press again, and you did press ups 2 days ago, and you're still sore for the next sort of month or 2, and you never start getting out of that cycle of you actually then getting stronger and stronger and stronger, but you're getting sorer and sorer and sorer per workout, this could be a negative connotation of where we're under recovered. Physical things that you can do that could actually help you with your recovery. Ice baths, absolutely hideous, very, very, very effective on actually boosting your immune system, pushing your body to get more and more blood, to get rid of and detoxify everything and move cells around as fast as possible. We want to get as much blood flow as possible. Steady state intervals, sorry. So literally LIST training. You should be doing some 45 minutes of fast walking, on a bike, jogging, those lifestyle exercise factors that will be programmed into your diet, into your training program. They should be used as a recovery method. You should be having your heart rate at 120. You should be a light jogger. You should be sweating, detoxifying your body. Massage, hugely parasympathetically driven. Sorry, it's going to push your body to calm down, rest, digest, recover from what the activity that's been doing, and also push those toxins, those broken down cells, those broken down bodily tissues away from the sites that are sore, and get the recovery process happening faster. Foam rolling and Theragun, they're the same thing. They cause the same effects. I use a Theragun purely on the basis that I find it a lot easier to do foam rolling. You can use foam rolling if you guys want somewhere to go look for a foam roller, or look how to use one properly and different exercises to beat tight shoulders, tight hips. Look at the Supple Leopard book from Kelly Starrett. The Ready State is really, really good for information on that. And if you want other stuff, you're more than happy to hit me. Digestion. This is one thing that people don't think about. They don't think about when what they're on. On days off, it still means you have adequate calories. It still means that you have adequate amount of food for you to recover. It doesn't mean you drop 1,000 calories out of your diet if you're on 2,000. An example would be, if I'm on 2,700 calories a day, I'd go down to 2,400. That's my recovery volume. Because you have to think about your body is not just trying to adapt from training, it's trying to survive, live, have homeostasis, actually push itself in the right direction, do bodily functions that you haven't got dictatorship over, like actually utilizing muscles such as your heart and your eyes and the way you breathe and that kind of thing. This all takes energy. So if you're under-regulated and using under amount of calories, you're going to be eating into other processes because your body won't let you die. So if, like, an example would be, if you're a male, my weight 97 kilos, and you are having what's it called? You're eating under eating, having 1,200 calories. Your body isn't going to allow yourself to die. What your body will do is it'll slow its metabolism down and actually start storing body fat on purpose for the ability, when you do overeat, it's then going to take that energy. Hence why, how many people do you see that eat salads and they're fat? It's not, you having body fat is not needed. You having too much muscle is not needed. What we're trying to do is manipulate that variable, that pyramid system, that you have more muscle than body fat tissue. And that's really, really important when it comes down to recovery. Psychological factors for recovery is get away from what you're doing. Don't just focus purely on whatever you're trying to achieve. If you just bang on the fucking door about I want to get a six-pack, I want to get in shape, what will happen is it's a long-term process. This doesn't happen in a week. If you keep thinking like that, it doesn't happen. You're then going to get into a negative spiral, and that's going to lead you into the psychological issues that we talked about before. If you think about it this way, is that you need to have other habits or other things to do that aren't just fitness. Things that are going to actually make you relax and help you calm down and get into that parasympathetic model. Like I said, many people, the best one for me is to get a dog. And sorry fellas if I'm going to make you go and get a dog for your missus, but it's extremely important that if you do have that outlay, you have another way of relaxing. Going on long walks, going onto the beach, getting into the water, going for a swim, painting, drawing, reading, writing, all these other things that when we were kids we thought were boring and stupid. These are key factors for you to recover. You have to have a goal-orientated, driven training model. If you are just doing this to stay fit, you need to be progressing anyway. A program needs to have an end goal of what we're trying to achieve. Whether it's you're trying to be bulletproof strong, so if the zombie apocalypse happens, you're not going to get eaten first, or whether you're trying to compete at a professional level of some description, or whether you're the head of a company and you want to be the best and the big dog in the room, you need to have a training program that's going to meet the demand of your sport, meet the demand of your body, meet the demand of your goal. And finally, from a recovery standpoint, is that this is not just about you, this is about recovering for your family and for everybody else. If you are not taking the responsibility and pushing yourself on one end of the spectrum so high, and then you're not going to take the recovery measures to meet that goal, you are actually putting other people at risk. You're going to be in a bad mood, you're going to be under-regulated, underslept, you're going to be cranky, you're going to be a wanker, excuse my French. Those 5 things that already should push you into the direction of that recovery is king. If you're under-recovering, you need to describe that to me and push it towards me, because it should come in your check-in, and we should see that from your HRV, your sleep stats, as well as your blood pressure scores. Those are the 5 parts of the pyramid for onboarding. You should have some information from that. If you need any more, please hit me up. I'm on the end of the phone, I'm on the end of True Coach, and until next time, I'll catch you soon.